Voices.
I'd like to get a response from somebody, somebody's.
Right. Thank you so much for your contribution to this program. It's 21 minutes past the hour of 11. We're going to take this break to give a shout out to our sponsors. When we come back, we'll continue Voices here on Win FM 98.9. Let's take this short break.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Decided what to eat yet, hon?
Yep, almost.
If only this was easy like when we switched to Flow.
Best decision ever. Combining our mobile with Flow Internet
Saving hundreds each month on our mobile.
and getting double data to share for up to 4 lines. My ideas are the best.
Any idea when you'll make this decision?
Yeah, soon. Switch to Flow Postpaid and sign up for internet for big mobile savings and double data as low as $80 per line. Visit discoverflow.co for details. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to Voices on Win FM 98.9. We have a call on the line. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Okay, the call is back. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You are on Voices.
Good morning, Mr. Cornelius.
Good morning.
How are you today, sir?
I'm good, thanks. Giving thanks for life. What about you?
Yes, likewise. I'm giving thanks for life. A brilliant day in sunshine and thank you to Nevis. And I already sent out my Happy New Year's greetings on your Inside the News program.
Yes, you did.
But I wish to say belated Christmas. As you know, actually, the day when you had other guests, and I said, well, I'm not going to intrude on what your topic would have been at hand, and I did not get to wish Christmas greetings from the Ethiopian perspective, because the Ethiopians does not follow the Gregorian calendar in which Pope Gregory authorized. They follow an older calendar. So the date would vary in terms of how they, not only the Ethiopians, the Armenians, also those ancient Christian churches would have adhered to other calendrical events where they would have celebrated such days like religious festivals, holidays, Christmas, and other days, Epiphany, and equivalent to Christmas, Epiphany, the birth. Anyway, speaking of Ethiopia, I heard Mrs. Henry just now about Ethiopia. I caught her in the midst of our conversation, but I'd like to respond to what I heard. Yes, there is a concern that Ethiopia as a sovereign nation, the only independent nation that was never colonized on the entire African continent. You would have imagined at the Berlin Conference in 1884-85, they would have had Ethiopia as a part of what they would have carved up as a piece of cake, right? Yes, you would have imagined that. And all of the colonial powers have attempted to, especially Italy. There was an occupation of Ethiopia from around 1935 or thereabout, probably about 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because they was always wanting to penetrate Ethiopia from the porous border of an independent country today, which was a part of Ethiopia, Eritrea, which is on the border with the Red Sea. And they would have penetrated Eritrea and want to penetrate Ethiopia. But Ethiopia is a tough place to conquer because it's so mountainous. Long story short, Mr. Cornelius, the eyes was always on Ethiopia to occupy that space. And with the modern development of countries, Ethiopia has shown signs of developing. It is one of the fastest developing countries on the continent. Not only that, a contentious issue came up in terms of their resource, one of their resources, water, because they have so many lakes and rivers. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, Mrs. Henry, you could go in the Bible. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, wow, that speaks like Ethiopia have river sources like Lake Tana. And so they have saw fit to think about harnessing energy so that they can lead the people out of the darkness come the light. Give light to their citizens and industrial areas and, bring about, economies, economics. And that has put a political spin to all of it. There are countries downstream like the Sudan and Egypt, which relies on the water sources. Now, the Nile has two sources from Lake Tanganyika or the Lake Victoria, which they call Lake Victoria today, to Uganda and Tanzania and all those countries, and Lake Tana in Ethiopia. And when it comes downstream, it's passed through the Sudan, and it goes out into Egypt and then empties into the Red Sea. The Great Sea, which was the Mediterranean Sea, not the Red Sea. And so all of this has spurred contention and contention and contention. It's like how the Romans used to greet their citizens, like Carthage must fall because of the war, the Punic War. Carthage must fall. This is how they will say. Before they say good morning, they say, Carthage must fall. Carthage must fall. This is on these people's mind. Ethiopia must fall. Ethiopia must fall.
Right. Well, thank you so much, caller, for your...
And I'm going to call back in and follow up on it because it's a long story in which I have to dissect it.
Right, and thank you so much, caller, for your contribution. I hope the previous caller is listening as they were hoping for a response, which I think they got. It is 1:30. It's 11:30 right now here in the studios of WINNFM 98.9. And we're taking your calls here on Voices. Today is Monday, January 10, 2022. Let's head back to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Devon. Hello?
Hello, good morning. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, Devon, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, thanks.
This is Journey. I want to say good morning to Mrs. Henry and good morning to all here in my voice. Mrs. Henry said something very interesting when she stated that what is taking place in Ethiopia should concern us here. Now, your second caller mentioned the conflict and conflict surrounding the resources on in Ethiopia, to be specific, the River Nile. Now, what is happening there with that source of energy? The question we need to ask ourselves, yes, the conflicts arise about a year ago or so, and what we don't know, or what most of us may not know, the question we should ask is who is behind stirring up this conflict and why? You see, Devon, what the resource of the river can generate that would supply the whole continent of Africa is electricity. Now, we had our former president of the U.S. made threat pertaining to the dam in Ethiopia. And now, if you are in the knows and if you would dig deep, you would know why Egypt and America is behind the failure of the development of Ethiopia. If you're in the knows, Devon, and you would dig deep, you would see the outside elements that are behind these forces to cause this growing economy of Ethiopia to fail. Now, when Mrs. Henry said what is taking place in Ethiopia should be of concern to us here, you know, I cringe when I heard her said that, because this was my cry for the whole of last year on so many other counts of my participation in this program. Because, again, I'm going to say, if we think that what is happening there does not affect us because we are here in this our geographic space, today, Devon, there's a global awakening. People are awakened. The truth, we are in the era of truth today. The truth is there for those who would seek, and all you have to do is to research. Now, there's also a lot of things that is happening on the continent of Africa, not just specifically in Ethiopia, but other areas like in Ghana. Things are happening where the youths are involved because, Devon, this thing about our history was hid from us. It's not just here. It is there, here, India. Everywhere these people have gone, they have destroyed, and then they have inserted themselves into the history that they met by destroying and killing our ancestors.
Right.
So we need to be a part of what is happening and get involved and let our voices be heard, Devon. That's the only how we can get the change that we desire. Our change must come in unity because, again, those who divide us know why they divided us, and our division is for their survival.
Right.
We don't hate them.
Well,
our unity is within ourselves and our strength.
Right. And thank you so much, caller, for your contribution. We have another call on the line, so let's head back to the phone lines. Okay, we seem to have lost that call. You can call us back at 466. Okay, let's take this call. Okay. Caller, good morning. You are on the air.
Sorry, good morning. Good morning to you, and greetings in the name of Jesus Christ, the second member of the Eternal Trinity, the only Savior of sinners. Now, first of all, I would like to say something. A caller mentioned about Christmas and Ethiopia and that sort of stuff. Let me say a little something concerning that. When it comes to the Orthodox churches, they celebrate, be it in Russia, the East, Africa, wherever, they celebrate Christmas on the 6th of January. Now, when it comes to the Western churches, we celebrate Christmas starting the 25th of December. Because, I'm talking historically, it ends on the 6th of January, which is the 12 days of Christmas. Starting on the 25th, ending on the 6th of January, which ends the 12 days of Christmas. So really and truly, historically, up to January the 6th, it's still okay to say Merry Christmas. And therefore there is an overlap. There is an overlap between the Orthodox churches and the Western churches when it comes to the 6th of January, where both of them celebrate Christmas at the same time, and January the 6th. That is where that is concerned historically, but a lot of people don't know that, because a lot of people don't know that up to January the 6th, it is still okay historically to wish somebody Merry Christmas, because that is the last day of the 12 days of Christmas. Now, secondly, I would like to say, we need to keep our mind on the meaning of Christmas, which is Jesus Christ came to seek and to save sinners from their sins and from hell, to be waiting for all eternity in his kingdom. And all we have to do is just put our faith in his death, burial, and resurrection from the grave according to the scriptures, and we will be saved by his blood.
Right. Well, thank you, caller, so much for your contribution to this program. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Cornelius.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. In reference to the video about the minister, I don't know which video clip you saw. They had one previously, which was about 13 seconds, which showed him at an event at Carnival time, unmasked, no social distancing, enjoying himself. As a result of those events, we have this outbreak of Omicron, because all of those events were attended by fully vaccinated people.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody unvaccinated could have attended.
Well, we don't know what is what we think right now. We don't know for a fact that those events were contributed to the COVID-19 press briefing.
Did you listen to the briefing on Friday, the NEOC briefing?
I did.
When the FIT
okay, go ahead.
Stated unequivocally that those events were some of the reasons for this outbreak.
Okay.
The new video, what I saw, I listened to, was 34 seconds, and it appeared that the minister was having an interaction with members of the task force. Because at the beginning of the video I listened to, one of the individuals was saying, people are coming into the event and they're not signing in, Mr. Minister, and he was saying whatever he was saying, and then somebody was telling him not to get in the face of the police officer, and then the minister stated, when he was told that the event was not following the protocol, he said, "Oh, shut it down, shut it down." And when we have people using, situational ethics, when we saw Derek Chauvin kneeling on George Floyd's neck, did we wait to see all of the? We wanted to see the whole of the video. It was apparent that he was killing George Floyd. And if we see what we see with our eyes and hear with our ears, why, because of whatever political leanings we have, we want to dismiss it? That is not good. As 98% literate people, that is not good. We have to call a spade, because if it happened under the previous administration, we would have been crying bloody murder in the street. And my opinion on this, Minister Grant needs to come out and make a statement, the cabinet or somebody. You need to call the task force, because it appears the interaction was with members of the task force. Somebody needs to come out and address this, because if we're not going to believe our lying eyes and our lying ears, we might as well we just call this democracy over.
Right.
Because this is not now TSA and them say. This is the age of camera phones, and when we see racist police abusing black people, if we're going to believe that, we should be able to believe this.
Right. Well, thank you, caller, for your contribution to this program. What I would say is that I think the best thing at this point is for an official statement from Minister Grant with this allegation and a statement from the police. As I stated before, we received the video, and the video that we received was the one with the 13 seconds and the one with the 34 seconds. So it appears that is what transpired. As I stated earlier, we made efforts to contact the Commissioner of Police, but he wasn't available at the time to comment, and so we will be following up with him to get an official comment. But in terms of the hard facts or the back-end story of it, what led to that apparent allegation, we don't have all of that information. But we know, we saw the video, and we heard what transpired in the video. But as I stated, we want to get an official comment from the police and perhaps the other parties involved in this situation. It's 11:41. We're winding down, and we'll take a break at 12 for the headline news. When we come back, we'll continue Voices here on WINN FM 98.9, but we're still taking calls up until 12 noon. The phone lines are open, and you can call us at 466-0989, 762-0989, and 662-0989. Let's head back to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
I want to thank Africa and Journey for attempting to answer the question. Now, when you listen, you would hear that the part of the problem is the power sharing. It is a political thing. Because as far as I understand, the TFL, whatever the name, they, I think, were in power before. And there now all the parties are asking to be included in the power sharing arrangement. So I want them to explain that to me. And for my good friend, good morning, Mr. Jackson. I keep telling people, when it comes to these clips, I don't care who it is about. You have a 34-second clip, we want to see the whole thing. It is so easy to take things out of context. I'm not defending anybody. I've heard people say, oh, you hear what so-and-so say? I have even heard people say, oh, Miss Henry say.
Well,
out of context.
and I can understand that, caller. Sometimes you would just see half of a story, and so you would assume that this is what happened. So that is why I've said that we want to get the entirety of the story.
You could send a 34-second clip. Why you couldn't send the whole thing? Since you were they were filming the whole thing.
But at the same time, you don't know if the altercation was just 34 seconds. This is just me saying.
That's what I'm saying.
But we want we want to know what led to that, what happened after, what happened before, what happened during.
I have been victim of people picking out things to say. I recall one time I was talking about the women's political participation. And I said, whenever women go in, and I hope they're listening, whenever women are elected and go to the House, they have a duty to be concentrating on women's issues. Now, a particular politician said, oh, well, she's one of the boys. Now, you know what one of the boys mean, right? It don't mean that you have the same sex, something like that. It means we all think alike. You understand?
Right.
You are a member of the youth parliament. You're one of the boys. Well, so I said, well, when people say that, then they don't know if they're male or female. Because if you are sent there to do a job and you think it is in your best interest to go along with what the male say, then you're not doing what you should.
So quickly, get to the point that you were trying to make.
I am saying, I have heard all kind of things on all kind of side. People pull up, send pizza,
that is
send
true.
words, they take your words out of the sentence and have long debate over it. We only incriminate ourselves. If, when we hear the thing, we make judgment. The Bible said, don't be quick to make judgment, Be quick to hear, slow to speak. It has nothing to do with the parties. We tend to elaborate if the people are on the other side. Well, I don't have any side. And I think our people should be intelligent enough. The people who send these things have some objective, and it's not in your best interest. because the police can defend themselves, and so can Mr.
When you
Grant.
say they have some objective, what are you referring to exactly? I'm not clear there.
Let me give you straight. 'Cause I know you're young, right?
Yeah.
And I want you to learn.
Yeah. So say what exactly
So
what
I'll
you
tell
mean.
you what the objective is. Now, if somebody hear you make a statement, half a statement, the thing is to cause people sometimes to question your character or to create political discourse with the intent of pulling down people. If somebody is wrong, they're wrong. You understand? Now, if you come and say, look, he was wrong to do it, then that is it. But when you just say anything and, oh, well, this is what happened. So what do you expect people to say? Then those of us who are politically motivated and agitated, we jump to all kind of conclusions.
But remember to call at the same time. This is not a case of where I went on the road and saw an altercation and I came back and I told you. You know, sometimes hold on. You know, sometimes when we hear a story and we're trying to tell our friend, man, we give them all kind of hoopla about what happened. But this is a different situation to be on the fair side. There's an actual video with footage and audio. So it's
yes, I'm saying
it's very
how long
it's,
it is.
it's different.
When did it begin?
Yeah, I don't think you're listening to me, you know.
No,
I'm telling
but
you,
understand what
we
I'm
don't
saying.
have the full context of it. They're different parts. They're different. They're 13 seconds, 34 seconds. So I've said, I said it before, I say it again. We want the full context. We want to know what happened before,
but 13
after.
seconds and 34 seconds. Does that make sense to you? What happened in between there? Is that when Jesus born?
Man,
and
you're not listening to me, you know. I don't think
to
you're
you.
not
I'm
listening
trying
to
to
me.
get you to
I
say the
just
truth.
tell you that is what we want. We want to see what happened before and after. I'm not saying that we should run with the 34 seconds. Absolutely.
Are we running with it?
No, we're not. No,
Not
we're
you.
not.
Not you. But it put up a speculation. Are you being victim of speculation, you know?
I understand how that is because people
Yeah,
could
so
always
one sentence
look at
piece,
one side of the story and they would take it out of context because we know that is how the culture is
and
right
they say
now.
on Bible that is
If
true.
you see a 2-second video, you would automatically put it in, to suit
in your context.
Yes.
The context in which you want it.
That really happens. But we have some more calls on the line, so let's head back to the phone lines with another call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, quickly, Mr. Cornelius. Do you remember the National Debt My Dash 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 clip?
That's a
You
popular.
remember
Yes.
you remember a bad Caesar Barn clip?
I don't know all of them, but I know some.
You remember the overthrow elected government clip, and I could go on and on.
Mm-hmm.
And did people question those, or did they say, well, this is the person, this is the character, and he was chastised for it, and it wasn't questioned? Mm-hmm. Like I said, situational ethics, this is not the time for it. We should call a spade, because nobody said, the racist people were saying, well, what George Floyd did before the policeman kneel down on his neck and kill him. That's what the racist white people were saying. Situational ethics does backfire, and we need to stop using it. Mm-hmm. I am saying he's a government minister. A statement should have come out since yesterday. Not that you have to be calling people to find out what's going on, because, unless you got a twin brother, we have to believe our lying eyes and our lying ears. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, caller, for your contribution to this program. Let's head back to the phone lines. Caller, good. Oh, we seem to have lost that call. Let's take this break to say thank you to our sponsors. When we come back, we'll continue Voices here on WIN FM 98.9. Let's take this break. We'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. WIN FM.
Decided what to eat yet, hun?
Yep, almost.
If only this was easy like when we switched to Flow.
Best decision ever. Combining our mobile with Flow Internet
Saving hundreds each month on our mobile.
and getting double data to share for up to 4 lines. My ideas are the best.
Any idea when you'll make this decision?
Yeah, soon. Switch to Flow Postpaid and sign up for internet for big mobile savings and double data as low as $80 per line. Visit discoverflow.co for details. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to Voices on WinFM 98.9. We have just 10 minutes left and we are still taking your calls here. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. The phone lines are open. Call us at 466-0989, 762-0989, and 662-0989. We'll take a break at 12 for the headline news, and when we come back, we'll continue Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. Yeah, this is a very tricky thing. I mean, we know it's just like when you're in the court of law and the judge or the jury has to hear a case. They want to hear all the sides of the story before a judgment or a decision can be made. You want to hear from all parties involved so that a fair decision or judgment can be made. And this is how it is. The caller does have a very valid point that, I mean, and I think it has happened to perhaps all of us before, where sometimes you would see something or piece of something or half of something, and you would perhaps just take it to mean just that without understanding what would have led to that or what happened after or what happened, in between. But it's very interesting, and we will be following this. Let us head back to the phone lines real quickly. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air. Please turn on your radio.
Yeah.
I'm hearing some feedback.
Mr. Henry, the TPLF, the Tigrayan, the province of Tigray, the people who lived in that province, the Tigrayan People Liberation Front, TPLF. Power sharing, you did stated that they were in office. They was in office for 32 years. Imagine in our local politics here, the previous, where Unity has started their second 5-year term. But the administration before the Unity, imagine that one of the ministers or the leader who is the opposition leader now, turn to the Unity and say, I want to be a part of your government after 25 years. It is the same scenario where the TPLF governed for 32 years. And in democracy, it does not go that way. You would have had to say, well, okay. And the parties that are there now, they did not ask for no power sharing. They go to the polls, and the different provinces send up their representatives. And depending on how many elected officials are being represented by such and such area, then the parliament entails of that. If they agree there then that, well, we're going to be the governing party, there must be an opposition. There must be an opposition at all times in democracy. So the TPLF, they are the opposition. Now they decided that they don't want to be the opposition. I'm sure they have representatives. They did not lose all their representation in parliament, but they are the minority, and they does not have the governing authority to command and they're saying that this is what they want to be power sharing. That power sharing influence is being influenced from outside, because when the TPLF got out of control, the United States said, no, we cannot afford to go with these guys no more. Let us put another strong man there to show our interest. And so that is how Mr. Abiy came in, selected by the United States, just like how the TPLF was propped up by the U.S. So that is the external forces. That's not how the United States operates as a governance, as a democracy. So why would they want other people to operate that way?
Okay, and thank you, callers.
That's the long story, the short, long story.
Right, thank you so much for your contribution. We're still taking calls here on Win FM's Voices. The phone lines are still open. We have just 4 minutes left, so we'll take one more call. The numbers of... Okay, we have a caller on the line. Let's take this call.
External forces.
Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Please, your radio. There's some feedback.
Yes, good day. It's me again. You see, mother, it was on another program, something that come like I'd heard Miss Henry say that her sister recently passed or something like that. But if that be the case, I'd like to give Miss Henry my sympathies and condolences for the passing of her sister, if I understood her correctly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller, for your contribution to this program. We have just 3 minutes left, and so we will begin wrapping up this edition of Voices. We'll take a break for the headline news. When we come back, we'll continue, and we should be back very shortly. Stay tuned to WinFM 98.9. More is coming up in the headline news, and we're looking to continue this conversation this afternoon. So stay tuned to your radio, or if you're listening via the TV or whatever, stay tuned. I think we have enough time to take one more call once you're short. So we'll take just one more call. That is 466-0989, 762-0989, and 662-0989. This is Voices on WinFM 98.9. We are awaiting your call, but please make it short. Yes, we have just 2 minutes, so I don't want to take any call and then somebody come in and talk for forever. But yes, this is what we're tracking right now. This is the story that we have, and as I said, we'll continue to make efforts to reach out to the relevant parties involved in this matter, and we hope to get the full context of it, what happened before, what